Pyrethrum plus oil pest spray.
Spray. You have to buy a new one.
These are my Mr. Lincoln Red Rose. Actually, I should get the bin, shouldn't I? Yeah. This one I think is called Blue Moon. And these ones here, they're called Pope John Paul's. Got a beautiful smell. Yep. If I should dig these out or just use the whippersnapper. I really want to get this sorted. Have a nice garden bed here. Just give me a second, I'll get some gloves. Part of me just wants to spray this with weed killer. And with these, you just have to get one starting point. Once you get that, ow! So we need gloves. Ow! I'm definitely gonna buy some gloves. Definitely. Who's paid for gym membership and you don't use it? I've been paying for the gym for about over a year now, and I think I've gone about 7 times. Keep telling myself, oh, it's such a good rate. Such a good rate. Don't give it up. But then I don't use it, so it's still a waste of money, right? One day. I intend to go back one day. At least there's soil here now. Oh, man, this soil is so bad. I'm so sorry, Rose. Alright, so what I plan is to dig around all these roses. 1, 2, 4, 5. Before it gets too hot. And so I can water to my next rose. Sounds like someone's mowing the lawn. One of the neighbours getting it in before it gets too hot. So I'm actually going to make a video. I've decided I'm going to make a video on what I'm feeling at this time, you know, about having a midlife crisis. It's a very real thing. You know, I'm not dissatisfied with my life. I've got Chris, my wife, and Georgina and Cassandra. So I'm not dissatisfied at all. I'm quite active in the church. I have a good relationship with my parents. I have a brother, but we're not talking at the moment. I'm sure I've done some things for him to stop talking to me, but I just leave that, and hopefully our relationship will one day be restored. It's a shame because we both love gardening. We used to hang out, garden and talk. But anyway, I got married quite young. I was almost 20 when I got married. Actually, yeah, almost 20, just before, just after my 20th. So I was married at 20. Yeah, August 14, I hope. Is that right, my love? And Chris and I, we were two people who were like, yeah, okay, we'll get married. But of course, when you get married, it becomes 2 of you. So you then have another person to consider. You can't be selfish, for the sake of starting your relationship. and building a family and building a relationship. So yeah, Chris and I had Georgina at 20, 21, 22. Chris is 1 year older than me, so, and then we had Cassandra 18 months after that. So yeah, so you put things aside, you do put your dreams aside, but then your hopes and dreams become something else. Focused on the family, your marriage. Before you know it, you're 44, and then you start thinking, what have I done? Where am I headed? So you really start considering, is this the path that I want to be on? Is this the path that I want to stay on? I'm not talking about leaving my family. I wouldn't do that just for the sake of, because I'm having a midlife crisis. I don't think that's, I really believe God put Chris and I together for a reason. That's not even part of the equation, but how can I work in being true to myself and still doing what I love, and at the same time cherishing my family and my wife and supporting Chris in the stuff that she wants. This poor Rose, I don't know if you can see it on this camera. Look at the roots. I really need to get some soil. So yeah, midlife crisis. So I've taken this job share. We will, I don't know, I wouldn't say we're going to struggle. My pay will effectively be cut in half. That's fine. I can, what was I saying? Oh yeah, cut in half, effectively cut in half. As any household would know, you can always adjust budgets and spend less, go on less cruises. People who know me know that I love going on cruises. Well, sidetrack from midlife crisis, this is sort of part of it, but I went on Ozempic about a year ago, and I stayed on it, but something, I didn't lose any weight, but it did do what it was meant to do with my sugar levels, so that was good. But there was something in me that just felt uneasy about taking it, so I stopped. My doctor said, "Why do you stop for?" And I was like, well, I just don't feel right. I was scared about the side effects and things, and I know it's either there could be those side effects, but then there's side effects of my sugar's going too high, and that would be a side effect. That would be more of a result. So I wonder, just like the COVID vaccines, I wonder what the anecdotal results will show in 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years of people who take Ozempic long term. You know what? It's good that I decided to do this. Better than being inside and just scrolling. Gee, this Pope John Paul's really wanting to flower. I can probably take this one out. I used to have a fence here because I used to let my chickens run. Going back to the Ozempic, I did notice that I lost muscle mass, which is, they do say that that's one of the side effects, and so my strength hasn't really come back because I stopped going to the gym and I just need to eat more protein. That's what it is, right? Cut all these dead bits off. That's the Ozempic side. But anyway, back to the midlife crisis. I just find that I've got so much more to give. I've just got so much love, inspiration, encouragement to give the world. So I'm hoping that this will be a turning point for me. I don't want to cut this because there's a nice bud here. But yeah. So I don't know if there's going to be people who want to watch, listen to me. But I guess that's why it's called Hanging with Tita J. I just do what I normally do, and then I take you for the ride. Hopefully the YouTube algorithm does its thing and finds me the people who are interested in my content. Shout out to my mum, by the way, who sponsored my this camera. My mum and dad. I said to them one day, I want to buy this camera because I want to, jokingly, I'm going to become an influencer, content creator, YouTuber. I showed my mum a picture of it and she goes, buy it. And I said, but with what money? I'll give you some money. She's always been supportive, especially in my older age. I remember, and Chris would attest to this, I'd say to her, Mum, I want to lose some weight. I want to get a basketball ring. And she'd say, all right, buy the basketball ring. I'd use it maybe 10 times. But she doesn't stop supporting me. I know there's only, I don't know, I think there's 26, 27 subscribers. There might be a few more that watch. But tell me, what sort of content? I don't know if in the short time, if YouTube has paired me with my peoples. What sort of things do you wanna see? If it's something that I do normally, anyway, it'll just mean that it's gonna fast track the content that I do, and I'll actually film it. Back to my midlife crisis. You sort of think, well, I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna keep thinking and umming and ahhing and planning, or where's my diggy thing? Oh, lost it. You just sort of tap around and see, where is it? Do you keep planning or commit? Oh, found it. Ta-da! Or do you just commit it to God and go ahead and do it? You may ask, but Tita J, how do you afford this? Well, I have a wife who spends next to no money on herself. And Chris and I bought a place down south in 2019. And so, with the rental market being fairly good, and we built the granny flat at the back here with the 3 incomes, that's enough to cover our mortgage. Oh no, I lost the magnet. Oh no. This came with a magnet. Oh man. I knew I shouldn't have put it there. Anyway, so let's stick this here. Lost the magnet. Yeah, so getting back to that. So with the 3 rentals, that's enough to pay for our mortgage. With the interest rates have gone down. Hopefully they'll stay down. It's taken a load off us. And I thought I'd use this opportunity to just try it. The weight is off. The mortgage weight is off us. We still have to pay the utilities and whatnot, council rates and stuff. But I think we can do it if I just, like I said, don't go on any cruises for the next year or so. Who knows? I might be able to, but my plan is not to. Yeah, and just to pursue this, make more content, do what I do anyway, but just record it and see. I'm really looking forward to Campsite, the project in the Philippines. Chris and I bought, it's an acre. We bought an acre in the Philippines, and can you see that fly? Hello, fly. And our plan is to build a campsite on it initially, because we don't have the capital to build what we eventually want on it. I went back in February 2025 and planted some jackfruits. I'll probably put a picture or a video or something once I learn how to do it. Right there, 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 or there. So yeah, I went in February 2025 and planted jackfruit, some coconuts, some soursop, mangoes. Just because while we're waiting, while we're saving from, for more capital, might as well plant something so the trees have time to grow. And then when I go back this February, I'll be planting bamboos, getting the septic tank dug up, and connecting the electricity, which I've mentioned in the previous video, my first ever video episode. Yeah. So the plan for that is to open it up to camping, because that's the least. It requires the least capital. So yeah, we'll just do some campsites there. Put up a volleyball court and think of whatever. Eventually, we want to build a one cabin and then list that back on Airbnb, because, as I've also previously mentioned, we used to host on Airbnb, but because I needed to help my parents and my dad with his specialist appointments, we put that on hold, which no problemo. I love Airbnb, but I definitely love my parents more and my dad more. So did that, but I do want to get back into it eventually. So yeah, we're planning to put a cabin to start off with and rent that on Airbnb. And I don't know, I've always loved massages, so I don't know if I'd put a health spa there, but somewhere where get a massage, nice, yeah, just a nice place where, and then maybe a cafe or a restaurant, all these things. In 2018, yeah, 2018, I bought a takeaway shop. It was an industrial takeaway shop in Blacktown, New South Wales. And about 2 days in, I thought, what have I done? That's one thing. That's the one thing I learned from that is you may have a passion for something, but you definitely have to have a business mind if you're going to run a business, especially in the early days. Generosity and business, especially when you're counting everything, every little cent. Still be generous, but a business is a business, and a business is there to turn a profit. And I think I learned earlier on that my passion for food and hospitality and coffee and stuff like is not enough to. I'm gonna move you. It's not enough. Look for me. I'm here. Yeah. Yeah, it's not enough. I learned that, but then when we opened the Airbnb, I applied what I learned about business to that, and I did better there. And so I know from experience, as long as you learn from mistakes and learn from goodness, this fly, and learn from other things, that you'll eventually get there. What else? In 2008, oh, ow, ow, ow. In 2008, I took a career break and did some charity work, worked for a charity. That was fun. I've done catering at church. We have a fully equipped kitchen at church, so it's always easier to do catering there. I tend not to do catering elsewhere because just don't have you don't know if they've got the equipment. There's no dishwasher. There's no massive fridges and ovens and stuff like that. So I just tend to stick to catering at church. Something's growing here, and I think this might be a plum, because I've got a plum tree right there. The seeds might have fallen. So I think that I'm just going to do that little bit over there. But thanks for hanging out with me. And as usual, there's always room for one more, even for that fly, when you're hanging with Tito J. See you in the next video.